Right, we are live here with Riley today
Hi.
in our little MedBed Technology Center. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to do a summary of some of the best technologies that are available right now for 2025. And we are going to take questions and maybe talk a little bit about MedBeds. But there's a lot of really great technology nowadays that's coming out. We've done a couple calls that we're going to be posting videos on here shortly that are going to be on the terahertz wands, which is still to this day one of our top selling, probably one of our most popular products of all time. And we have those sitting around here somewhere. Can you turn the orange? What's that light? The blue one? Can you turn that towards the
Towards where?
just a, never mind, it's all good. So the terahertz wands are definitely one of our best products. We get the most results and definitely have the most testimonials from that, and the watch, the wave watch, the sound frequency watch, which is also really very popular. And you can see we've got some of our other technology here in the background, which are the plasma energy spheres. And so let's start off with our terahertz wands,
I'm going to start off with the 6.0.
the 6.0.
This is a 6.0.
And basically, the terahertz wands come in various different sizes. So the 6.0 that Riley's showing you is our entry level. That's our starter wand, or probably our least expensive one. And then right next to that is right after that would come the 7.0, which it's
This
about
was, yeah.
it's about 25% bigger than the 6.0.
This was my first love.
And do you want to just hold them next to each other? They can kind of get an idea of the
Sure.
difference in size.
So we have this one.
So basically, the price difference is just over $100. There's not a big price, but the size of the motors, the size of the unit itself is larger, and they all do the same thing. So the basic principle is that they basically send out energy through the tube. There's a blue light that comes out, goes through quartz crystal. Terahertz is a frequency that your cells resonate at when they're kind of in their optimal vibration, when they're healthy, which is the terahertz frequency spectrum. And there we have Big Blue. And Big Blue is the most powerful terahertz wand that we provide. That particular unit right there is what we would say commercial grade. So what that basically means is that it's just throwing off so much more energy. We actually have a lot of doctors, chiropractors, massage therapists, and even people for home use that use that a lot. And it's exponential. You can see it's just a much bigger product. And if you show the ends of it also where the motors are, um, you can see that the size of the motors is just so much larger.
Way larger. Absolutely.
And so basically, it just means that it requires less time of use. But they all do the same thing. They all, have the same principal qualities to them. And yesterday's call, which we haven't posted yet, was with a lady. She's a nurse down in Florida, and her son was in an accident and had had a really serious mouth injury in a bike accident. And the dentist or whoever the people were that had seen him said that more than likely he was going to lose his teeth. It was going to be a big problem. And she got the wand and started using it, and now it's a year later. He didn't lose any of his teeth. His gums are in perfect condition. Everything basically has been completely regenerated, and she was super happy, of course, and he's super happy. Nobody wants to lose their front teeth. That's going to be more dental work, and
Expensive.
yeah, and it's just, for your personal self image, it's not always the most gracious thing to have. So Riley works here with us. She basically runs the office and customer service and has about 46 different job titles. But many times, if you're calling in to order products or to get more information, more than likely you're talking to Riley or dealing with Riley. So it's nice to have you on the call today.
Love to be here. So excited.
Yep. And Riley knows a lot about the technology also. So many times, you can talk to us, Riley or myself, if you have questions. I had a lady yesterday actually that called that had issues with uh, Epstein-Barr and other issues with herpes and um, very specific things that were viruses that she was really having a problem with. And what did she want? She wanted to get a product. I don't remember which one it was. I think um, like the spheres that are right behind
Oh, let me
Riley
move
right
out of
now.
the way for
I
the
can slide
most
over too.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the plasma
this way.
energy spheres. Oh, perfect. Perfect. The plasma energy spheres right here are what's in the background. This is definitely one of our best products for the money. This is true med bed type technology, the plasma energy spheres. And the plasma energy spheres really are med bed technology. So basically, what's happening is from each side of the sphere, it's sending a signal into the middle. And when that signal hits in the middle where the cyborg is, it basically creates a scalar energy field, which produces some of the most beneficial frequencies for the body. And it runs off an app. Um, and that app basically could control what frequency sets you want to run. So you can run the app for um, pineal gland or your brain or
Shock.
chakras or throat or heart or internal organs, anything, right? And then off that core base frequency that you set it on, it throws off a cascade of additional frequency sets for that. And it's actually a modern version of Riley, what's also right behind you there, which are the multi-wave oscillators. And the multi-wave oscillators, which is really Tesla and Lakovsky technology, the spheres came from that. But what's really amazing is that the spheres create an intelligent energy field, right? So this gets into some very, very um, impressive physics. And I'm just going to go to our chat real quick. Grace, thank you for joining our chat today. Danielle, great to see you again.
Hi, Danielle.
And Vivian, South Carolina. Wow, I love that. We got all of our friends, people joining in. But to get back to these plasma energy spheres, so what's happening is that it's centripetal. So there's two spiraling whirlpools that are hitting in the middle. And when they hit, they create this scalar energy field, right?
It's a conscious energy.
And it's intelligent, conscious energy
Yes.
field. So what's happening is that the plasma energy is basically becoming recursive, meaning that it's circling in and out, almost like a toroidal field, I guess. And when it goes through that process, it starts connecting with the DNA. And therefore, it becomes a mindful and intelligent energy field, as Riley had just said. So now you're getting into some very esoteric information. You're not just talking about sending energy and frequency into the body. You're also talking about enhancing your plasma energy field, your consciousness and your soul is plasma energy.
Creating a connection.
Creating that connection. So basically, with creating that connection and connecting with that energy field, it becomes mindful and intelligent, and it also requires at that point um, intent. What are you doing in this energy field, and what are your intentions? In addition to the actual frequencies that are being run. God bless you, Danielle and Beth. Hello from Indiana. Love it.
Hi, Beth.
So me and Riley's, we're going to just start doing a lot more lives. We're going to start taking a lot more questions. We're going to have Food Goddess 50 back on here again soon. We've got guests coming back on. And we're going to have some fun with the lives where we can be a little bit unscripted. But to get back to the plasma energy spheres, when you're dealing with a mindful, intelligent energy field, plasma energy, which is your soul, is in your aura is basically compiled to plasma energy, and plasma energy is 99.9% of the universe. The sun is plasma energy, thunderstorms, lightning. Um, Nikola Tesla used to love to sit and listen to lightning and thunderstorms because they were intelligent energy fields. They were actually live intelligent energy, and so there's many stories where Nikola Tesla would love to do that. And Riley, you've me and Riley have traveled a lot through the medical industry, through the health and wellness. We work a lot with anti-aging out of Florida. But Riley, remember when we were down in Fort Myers? We saw the rainbow in the middle of the sky. There was nothing around it. It was mystical.
Yeah.
Um, and but also there was so much lightning down in Florida. You have a lot of lightning, and it's just like these lightning fields, and it's all this energy in the
All the
atmosphere.
time.
It's so exciting. It's so incredibly exciting. So the plasma energy spheres really are medbed type technologies, and ultimately they get you into lucid dreaming. They charge your aura, your energy fields, um, and they're phenomenal. The original story that I was getting at, however, was that there was a lady who had Epstein Barr and had herpes and other viruses, and the plasma energy spheres are really geared for rejuvenation. Oh, that's awesome. Now these run on an app, and you can go into the app. It's on my iPhone, and it runs. So basically, if anybody remembers back in the day at Spencer Gifts,
Yes.
you could buy these things.
So
I
good.
loved them. But what they've done is they put 20,000 volts of energy. They put a bunch of uh, energy underneath these and then connected them in with Bluetooth so they can run sound frequency. So it's kind of like the old school ones on steroids. They run a lot of power. You can really only sit in these energy fields with this particular unit. It's recommended for 15 minutes, maybe 20. You know, if you use them a lot, which I used to use them like a lot, I could go 30 minutes. If I went more than 30, even maybe 35, 40, the amount of energy it put in my body, I'd have to drink a lot of minerals because I would wake up at night with Charlie horses because it just ran so much through me. It depletes the minerals out of your body. Annie Oakley, thank you. Yes, thank you. And Ann Stockberry from Missouri. Wow, we've got people here. Something for legs that are swollen. Swollen legs probably would go back to the terahertz wand. Now you could use the spheres. The spheres would have very specific frequencies for the legs. But one thing that you probably might or might not know, I always try to recommend the things that are the least expensive because I don't know what people's budgets are. And I always want to try to get people the most effective technology for the least amount of money. Riley's got these here. She can show those to us.
So we have 6.0 right here. And then we have the 7.0 right here. And then we have Big Blue right here.
So what you would do, and is you would basically run those and wave them over your legs where the swollen areas are, just like Riley's doing right there. And you know, maybe say 5 to 10 minutes on each leg, and that would help like flush the liquid and the fluid out of there. A lot of times, it's a issue that's happening with the lymphatic system. And the other thing that's interesting, Dr. Mike Van Thielen, who's been on our podcasts many times, says that when there's swelling in the legs, a lot of times it's because of lack of water. And you would think, well, why is there lack of water? Clearly, there's a lot of water and swelling, but the body's holding on to it because it's afraid that it's going to lose it and not get it back. And so, also hydrating intensely. Now, one thing also about the wands, and Riley, you can tell folks also, is wanding your water, right?
Here, it's water.
Terahertz water. So basically, what that means is you point the wand down on a glass of water for about a minute, depending on the size of the wand. What that does is that declusters the water molecules, right? So water in general is a mystical element. It's mystical. we could get in and talk about water for the next
We
2
would have to do
days.
a separate video.
We really do. But one of the things about water is that it clusters, water molecules cluster. And when they cluster and you drink water, it's being absorbed through your intestinal tract, but you're not getting cellular hydration. And so when you use the wand on it, what it does is it breaks up the clustering, it energizes the water molecules, it lines them up in a linear fashion, and now the water molecule can be directly absorbed into the cell, right? And so now you're getting a much higher level of hydration, and you are also bringing charged water molecules into the body. And now, when you use the wand on it, you get a much better outcome. So, and I recommend humans drink the terahertz water at all times, not just using a wand. If you have pets, it's always good to wand the pet water. The terahertz wands get used a lot on pets. We just posted a video yesterday with Riley's friend Faith, and Riley, would you like to tell them what Miss Faith is doing up in beautiful Middleburg, Virginia, home of World Center Equestrian?
She's an equestrian rider and she trains and she rides um, race horses and just professional horses. And she started using the terahertz wand, probably a year ago.
Mhm.
And so it has been so beneficial at the barn that she uses it every day. She has specific horses that have specific schedules, and she wands them every day. She wands their water, and the difference has been just so dramatic. The way that they recover, the way that they rest, the way that they run, the way that they jump, the way that they heal. It's just some horses now cannot go without the wand. So it's just been pretty incredible to see what it can do to an animal, something especially with such a force like a horse.
Yeah, horses just such beautiful, majestic animals. Um,
And animals can't lie. So, and they're not trying to sell something.
oh, we
So,
got Ed in here. Ed from California.
hi,
Hello from
Ed.
behind Levi Stadium. Ed, how you doing? It's always nice we get a chance to talk to some of our.
I
And
know.
Michael, what is the least expensive for someone that has blood clots or high risk of them? Great question. Great question. Your blood is, a lot of these problems people have with strokes, and a lot of that is number one caused by your blood's all messed up, right? And so, Riley's got some stuff coming out. So, the number one thing I would tell you to do is put your feet on the ground for an hour a day.
Yes.
100%. That'll fix your blood faster than anything. And when it comes to least expensive, it's free, right? So, what is actually happening and why is your blood clotting? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that, but one of the primary reasons is that you're not connected to the earth. You're not connected to the earth. And what's happening is that um, when you're not connected to the earth, your body is not getting electrons. And you have to think of the earth as a big battery, and you're in a little electrical creature. And when you're not charging the batteries, you're going to start having breakdowns. One of the first things that breaks down is the molecular structure of your blood. And what happens is that it goes from a very round little cell to being almost like, well, the cellular structure of the wall is compromised. It becomes jelly, it becomes, squishy. And now what happens is all the blood's clotting. And so within 2 to 3 hours, oh, you've got the grounding. I love you. She knows everything. Like, I'm not even like, but basically within 1 or 2 hours, or even less, even after 20, 30 minutes of um, being on the ground and bringing electrons into the body, it immediately starts restructuring the red blood cell walls. They start separating back out. And once that happens, there's a whole chain reaction. The first thing is it takes pressure off your heart, right? So in addition, it's like motor oil. It's like when your car is pushing dirty motor oil, it's just, the thing's going to break down. Your body's the same. And so, getting your feet on the ground within 15, 20, 30 minutes of that immediately is going to start showing benefit. Now, that's going to decluster the blood. Now, if you don't get a chance to do that, we're out in Virginia. And Riley, see if you can hold that up real close to the camera and they can see that. These are the grounding fabrics that we have, the grounding technology. And A little bit closer. There you go. And if you see what's in the camera, that is coiled silver. Coiled silver, not strands of silver, coiled silver. And on this end over here, we've got the and that plugs into your grounding outlet, right? And so for people, and every house has a copper rod outside of it, which is called a grounding rod. And back in the 50s, they made that standard code. So every home that's built in the 1950s and thereafter has a grounding rod. And so that copper rod, if there's a surge in electrical energy, takes that electrical energy and it basically um, sends it into the ground to protect your house from having a surge electrical energy fire, what have you. But on the flip side, that copper rod can also bring that energy up into the outlet and into the outlet to that fabric, and that fabric being silver is conductive. So when you touch the fabric, whether it's we've got blankets and pillows, and that's just a sample of
sheets.
bed sheets, but you're grounded, right? So back to Michael. Michael, if you can't get out there, right? If you can't get out and put your feet on the ground, you can get grounding technology like that. Fabric right there that Reilly has is made for like a desktop. There's chair stations, there's
And sheets.
and
If you
sheets,
don't have time, you can sleep on it.
pillowcases. Exactly. So if you don't have time, you can get some of these fabrics. You can get a pillowcase, a sheet, a blanket, and you're actually grounding. You're bringing the electrons into the body. You're basically every single day keeping the blood in a good position where you're getting the stuff that you need to keep it from clumping and clotting.
What it does for inflammation is absolutely incredible.
And Ed is on the call right now. Ed has been a customer with us for, I want to say, Ed, you've probably been around now for at least 2 years, and he's got a lot of these technologies. Um, Santa Clara County, yeah, really had its own grounding by the first quarter next year, future retail space. I love that.
That's
But there's a
awesome.
couple other things I want to talk about, which is also very important for heart health and possible prevention of heart-related issues, strokes, and that. Um, I don't claim to be very smart, right? I do talk to a lot of smart people. So anything that I'm talking
You're a
about,
genius.
everything I talk about is not to be considered medical advice. We're not, making any claims, any of that, right? For a disclaimer. But one thing that I did learn a few weeks ago from a very smart individual was that your calves hold a lot of blood. Your calves or your legs hold a lot of blood, and that blood does not get pumped through the body real well. And one of the things that everybody should do, including myself, is get a roller pin and roller your calves and push the blood out of there, almost like a sponge, and get fresh blood into your calf areas. Now, you would think, oh, just running a rolling pin over my calves, you might need help with that. No big deal, right? But you'll find that for many people, when that happens, it's incredibly painful because there's a lot of stagnant blood that's sitting in your calf muscles. Now, me and Reilly work out at a really nice gym. We've got those foam rollers, right, that you've got that you can stretch out on. And those foam rollers, like you can roll your hips, your thighs, those are really good. It does.
But it makes a difference.
But you're pushing blood out of the muscle and refreshing it, right?
And in a lot of cultures, they'll do their entire body and they'll just pass that on from generation to generation. And what it does to blood circulation is just insane.
Yeah. And so, Michael, I thank you for that feedback. So,
T is greetings from Ohio.
greetings from Ohio.
Hi.
I don't know if it's Mrs. T or Mr. T, but I still remember Mr. T. You pity the fool. You pity the fool. Anyway, but yeah, that's if so for blood circulation and maintenance, the goal is not to need a med bed, right? Everybody's talking about the med beds. I'm going to do another video later today on the med bed technology. We're going to talk about the drones, what's going on with that, because I have a lot of sources, a lot of places I get information from, and um, we'll get into that. We'll get into the med beds. There's Carrie Thornton, who also has another name. I can't remember. She's been doing a lot of videos, a lot of stuff on the RV I don't generally talk about that. I find it kind of boring, and it's always very it's never tangible information that's real life. I mean, it's real life. Med beds are coming. They do exist. They will be here. But, this guessing game of when they're coming out gets a little bit old. And there's a lot of stuff that needs to change on our planet before those things are rolling out. I mean, the
Yeah.
the forces that be, the dark. I love Star Wars. The analogy of Star Wars and the reality of that is actually very factually based, although that movie itself is is sort of, a story, fairy tale, but there's a lot of information that's in there that's actually very factually based. And all that stuff's coming, it's gonna happen, but I've always said this, I'll say it again, 90% of the people that think they need a med bed don't. They have a lot of technology out right now that'll help you. Plasma energy spheres is med bed technology. The terahertz wands, and for her legs, those things are phenomenal. They work very well. They're good with spider veins, varicose veins. They work a lot with different skin issues,
Discoloration, hair
this
growth.
hair growth. I mean, we just had the call yesterday. The lady was talking about how her son, who's um, partially autistic, is seeing hair growth. He's older in his 20s, but seeing hair growth, baby hairs growing back in. And
Yay.
Daniel Gillette, and Daniel, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name. Another one of our longtime followers. He has gotten a massive amount of hair growing, and I talked about this on a previous video, but he charges the water, the terahertz water, then sprays it on his head and then
Yes.
wands it.
There you go. What is
I've
that?
used it a lot for wrinkles and skin.
Vivian. That's exactly what I do. I use my
Oh my God.
7.0 every time I get out of the shower because you can use the cool setting and it won't burn your hair. And plus, it got rid of my migraines. It helped with inflammation along with sleeping on my grounding mats with my grounding blankets. But that is the best idea. And we have a video on TikTok if you want to see how to blow dry your hair with a wand.
Yeah, but Vivian, thank you so much for the feedback on that, because that's exactly right. A lot of people, men and women, are using the terahertz wand as a hair dryer, and it is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you're getting all the benefits of a hair dryer,
Two
and
in
then
one.
and then putting that on steroids with the quartz crystal, terahertz, red light, all the other. And there's a lot of red light technology actually that's coming out as well. We have some right now. Um, I'm going to do something for our Ed exactly. And if anybody's on here and has questions, feel free to ask me. And also shout out to where you're from. Red light technology. So I don't know if we can plug this thing in, but these little panels throw off infrared light. They throw off red light. So they have red light and far infrared light. And you can put it by your face. Oh my gosh.
Got one plugged in for you.
Anybody that ever spends time in Richmond, Virginia at our office will figure out that Riley does 99% of what happens here.
No way.
I am just
It's all
here.
Sean.
I am just here in like form only. I don't get really anything done, but Riley does. Look at that. So infrared has different qualities than red light. They're both very beneficial. If you go into if you go, you have to sneeze. Okay. If you go into the benefits of it, one of the things I like to do is just go into Google and type in benefit of red light, benefit of infrared. Infrared does a little more detox, but you'll find there's a lot of studies out there, a lot of cleared FDA stuff that's going to talk about how this is helping with hair growth, red light. And the terahertz wand has red light. Even though it's showing blue light, it has red light in it. And
Correct.
that red light technology has been showing to be very helpful. There's a lot of products, a lot of technology that's coming out there.
It's been around for a long, long time.
And we have some more products, Riley, that are out at the front door in our glass showcase out there that we're going to be carrying, where it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
hat, a red light hat that you can put on that stimulates your hair.
Face mask.
Face mask. It's like for your skin and your face. You just put it over your face.
Ooh.
But this little device here is really cool. Will you do me a favor after we get off the call? Will you change the price of this to $129? So what we're gonna do for everybody that's on the channel today, if you
Give the
wanna,
code.
because what I wanna do is I wanna get like a bunch of these out. I want to get feedback from people. I love it personally. We've had these for about 6 months, but
Code.
what you do, yeah, we'll do a code. You make up the code while we're on the call.
Okay.
But you press that down so the green light's on. Now I'm gonna go with the infrared first. So I'm gonna hit infrared and then I hit infrared, and then I hit start. And I don't know if you can see, but it's very subtle, but there's little, it's kind of lit up a little bit where you can kind of see there's some light there coming in. And one thing about red light and one thing about light in general is that we only see a very small spectrum of light, right? Our eyes are only able to perceive about 7% of the light spectrum. So there's a lot of light that's out there that we don't see, very much like with dogs that can hear very high pitches that we can't. We're very limited in scope, what we can see and not see. But this thing then, it has this little piece on the back that you can just put down and you can set it down and just put it on a stand. Um, and then just put it, put it in an area. Now, some people are putting it right on their shoulder, right? Saying, "Oh, my shoulder's killing me." Sometimes people are putting it right on their wrist and they're using it to purify, their blood and keeping it right on their body. You can lay down, put it on your back, whatever you'd like to do. Now I'm going to turn that off. So I just turned it off. Now what I'm gonna do is do the red light. So I push the red light button. Now I'm gonna hit the center. Boom, and now we've got red light. And so the red light technology, this thing's tiny, but it throws off a lot of red light energy. And actually, right behind the top of my head, we've got some big red light panels that we're going to showcase later that are not very expensive. One of the things that was nice is I went down to a trade show in Miami. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm still in the medical industry as well. Me and Riley still deal with a lot of medical equipment, and the thing's so cool. And some of these trade shows, I'm able to meet directly with manufacturers, so I can find technology that's also in the wellness department and get direct access to that so that we can get it at good prices and it doesn't get marked up a lot. Like with some of this technology, I would rather keep the prices low and sell more of it than crank the prices up high and make it unaffordable. Anybody, like for me personally, when I started doing this, I think I'm on about 4 years. I just started off with one thing, like a terahertz one. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." And then I got an anti-aging bed cover, and then I got, the plasma energy water, which we have not talked about, but we do need to give some kudos to the plasma energy water, which you'll
Yes.
find on our website. And,
And did you talk about the wavwatch either?
we need to talk about the wavewatch. I think I'm gonna let you talk about the wavewatch.
Well, the code is gonna be Heal Red, and I'm gonna put it
Heal red.
in
Oh
the
my
chat.
god.
So after the video is
How did you do
posted,
that?
we'll make the code
When did you type that in?
earlier.
Okay. Oh my god. If you don't have young people around you, you're
My goodness
dead. You
gracious.
are dead. Um,
I'll do our own
Vivian, you are so sweet and wonderful. If you ever want to
Yeah, do a video.
do a video and talk about it, and if there's anything else you need, like anybody that's on here that's got the products that's willing to do a testimonial, I've done two videos lately with people, and I've given them a discount, a decent discount on the next product that they want in in um, in appreciation for their time with doing a testimonial. This is the Wave Watch.
So the wavewatch, as she describes it, is the most comprehensive and affordable self-care tool on the market. And it has over 1,000 frequencies, and it helps your body synchronize to sound. When one cell feels a vibration on your wrist, it begins to vibrate, and then the next cell begins to vibrate, setting off a chain reaction moving through your bodies 4.3 times faster than sound travels in air. So, according to sound and wellness coaches, when vibration travels through the body, they promote circulation, energy flow, and rejuvenation. And one thing going back to the wands is that the 7.0, the circulation, especially for my hair, like using it as a blow dryer, that was really the most incredible part for me was I could see like my I just felt better. Like I knew my blood was circulating in my head more and it was reducing the inflammation at the same time. But anyway, back to the wave watch. Everything works together. But so basically, more scientific studies are connecting waves and vibration to wellness. So, sound is the first sense we know in the womb, and the last sense we have as we leave the earth. So, it has a profound effect throughout our lives. And this she first made when was it her mother had breast cancer?
Her mom and her
Her
sister both had
sister.
breast cancer.
So it has a very, very easy self-explanatory guide on how to use it. Honestly, if you just start playing with it, you'll you'll pick it up right off the bat, and it's just very easy to use. And you don't have to go through scrolling because she gives you a list and breaks down each category. And so you can just go through this and then you can go directly into your watch and then you'll know exactly where to go. So I'll stand up and show you that.
Love that. And the way the watch is set up is it has all these subcategories. So it's really easy to use, very easy to use. There's men categories,
Extremely.
kids, men,
Women,
women,
yeah.
seniors,
Emotions. That's a
emotions,
really big one.
pathogens, germs. I run it a lot for mouth, teeth, and gums.
Hmm.
Once again, it really for prevention, because I'm in my 50s. I'm actually 58, which is kind of weird to even say that. Um, but as you get older, the goal is to not let your body start shutting down on you, right? So it's all about maintaining good health and maintaining good teeth and gums and the whole thing. So a lot of what I'm using it for is really just maintenance and prevention. Although I do run hair loss really because I don't want
Yeah.
hair loss, right? So
Do
what I'm trying to do is just maintain good hair
you
as
want to
much as I
do
can.
FAQs? Just some frequently asked questions on the watch while we're talking about it?
Why don't we? Let's do that. That's a
All right. So,
fantastic
how do I know what frequencies to play? Select the frequencies based on your symptoms or what health problems you have been diagnosed with. The Wave Watch adds another layer of non invasive, drug free ideas for self care. And she says use common sense. I love
Ooh, and it's not common anymore, people. I think everybody in
No,
this call knows common sense is not
no, it is
common.
not.
So when you say use common sense, you already got a problem
So use
because
smarts. General smarts. So what if I play the wrong frequencies? Relax. She's hilarious. We are bombarded with all kinds of acoustical frequencies all day long. Does it harm your body if you listen to a song that you don't like or don't resonate with? Not at all. The same applies here. The speaker is very small. Subtle frequencies may be more helpful than loud frequencies. Another one is the Wave Watch connected to the internet. The Wave Watch is not connected to the internet. We do not want to have stuff on our bodies that is free flowing with Wi Fi. Absolutely not. Is not connected to the internet because we know synthetic EM fields interfere with the body's signaling processes, which can cause damage and long term health problems. So, how does it work? The WaveWatch uses specific acoustical frequencies that have been measured starting in the 1920s. Newer technology has allowed us to add frequencies to the wristband. Studies from Denmark are shedding light on the theory that the body's nerve impulses may not be electrical. The Niels Bohr School of Physics is proving that nerve impulses can be sound impulses.
and actually, Riley, we still have that special up right now with the Wave Watch and the red light.
Yes, we do. We have a
Okay,
combination up right now.
so I got yelled at yesterday by Riley. She came in and said, "What are we doing? Giving away one of those red light panels for somebody buying a watch?" And I don't know. And yeah, hey, happy 68, Ed. Wow, that's awesome.
68th, Ed. That's so
68 years young.
exciting.
68 years young. But
He's gonna have to do a video with us.
yeah, it is. Yeah. And but basically what I did is I set up a package, a special that's on our website, Healthy Life Technology.
be up till
Can
Monday.
you type that into the comments when you
Yes,
get a chance?
absolutely.
So basically, if you order the watch, which I have found to be one of the most universal products that we offer, um, you get the red light panel for free. And I told Riley, what I really want to do, that's why that code, we're going to sell it for 129, which is really low for us because it's really very close to our cost. But I want to get feedback, right? I want to get feedback from our customer base and I want to get feedback from our viewers because I want to know how you're using it, what you're using it for, the effects that you're feeling. Um, and I could get into it. And I've done other calls, right? Just going in Google. In fact, Riley, will you benefit the Google of the benefits of red light?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we'll do benefits of the I just love
Red
this little
infrared
thing.
light.
Now, if you're putting it on your face, it does come with little goggles. So put the little goggles on. But for skin and
So this is the major one for me. This is when I fell in love with it, is when I wanted to become an esthetician. So skin health and appearance. It increases collagen production. It stimulates collagen production, improving skin's elasticity and reducing wrinkles, wound healing. It enhances the healing of cuts, scars, and other skin injuries. So, especially if you're pregnant, you have those like C-section scars, even stuff that they tell you will never go away. Acne reduction, it decreases inflammation and kills bacteria that causes acne. And skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, and that's something that can be really hard if you have especially really bad rosacea. But it does pain relief and muscle recovery. It reduces inflammation. It lowers inflammation in joints and muscles. It alleviates chronic pains. And as we know, chronic means it's permanent. So it provides relief from arthritis, joint pain, and other chronic pain conditions. Speeds up recovery time. It aids in muscle recovery after relaxing or injury by increasing your blood flow. It enhances cellular
Can
function.
you repeat that one again?
Yes. So it speeds up recovery. So it aids your muscles recovery after exercise or injury by increasing blood flow. So what we spoke about earlier with using the wand, the light does as well. So it also enhances cellular function, energy production. So it boosts your mitochondrial function, increasing your ATP, which is your cellular health, and it increases your ATP production. Um, Cell regeneration, also very, very important. It promotes the repair and regeneration of damaged tissues. Improving circulation, increases blood flow. It can aid in nutrient and oxygen delivery throughout the body. Mental and emotional well being. It reduces stress. It can lower cholesterol levels. It promotes relaxation. It improves sleep. It helps regulate the melatonin production for better sleep cycles. And some people think the melatonin doesn't work for them. More than likely, it's because you're not taking real melatonin. But having that to stimulate is even better. Eye health, it's retinal support. Emerging research suggests benefits of age-related vision decline. Immune system support, it enhances immune cell function and may help the body combat infections or illnesses. Hormonal balance, which is a really good one, especially for women and everyone, they change so frequently, but it supports endocrine health and potentially improving conditions related to hormonal imbalance. We can't tell you yes or no, but from my experience, but on a safety note, red and infrared light therapy is considered safe and when used as directed. Consult your healthcare provider if you have any underlying conditions or are using it for a specific medical purpose. We are not making any claims, but we are here if you have questions.
Yeah. So, hey, Vivian, Riley, if you look in the yellow up in the chat,
Let me
there's a
figure out my
code
name up.
called Heal Red. And Riley, what we need to do is put our phone number. You guys can always call us too. We'll
Or
put our
email.
or email, put our phone number and email. And we're just making stuff up on this call right now. So we just made up this special. I kind of like that actually, but
Well, feel free to leave comments and questions for when we come back on tomorrow, and we'll figure out, or on Monday.
Monday.
We might even be on tomorrow,
We
but
might.
definitely Monday for sure. Definitely. What time would you want to do it on Monday?
What time did we get on today? Like around noon our
Yeah,
time?
let's do noon Monday.
Noon Monday. We're gonna start doing a regular schedule. We're gonna start going into specifics on various products. I
Yes.
like the interaction with our customer base and with our friends on YouTube, and for all of our YouTube subscribers, thank you for subscribing. We've seen a huge boost in our traffic and in our subscriber base. So for all those folks out there that have shared the channel, I'm very grateful. Thank you for that. Can you
Yeah, so the code's not going to be up until after the video.
Yeah, we gotta just can you throw our phone number on there too, please?
Let's do- Which one?
804-495-0770. So that's our YouTube, or that's our office phone number, 804-495-0770. We're on East Coast time. So
What's your YouTube?
our YouTube channel is USA Medbed 369 at
Yeah.
USA Medbed, I believe. I think 369 is our medical
think so.
equipment channel.
Oh, it is? Okay. Which one is it?
USA Medbed at USA Medbed. So we're going to be doing another call here shortly on the med beds. One of the med beds come in. There's a lot of stuff out there on the med beds, and we'll get in to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the drones, what's going on with the drone thing, which is kind of interesting. A lot of stuff on that, but I find that when you're tapping into um, people that have connections off planet, that's when you're really getting the real story. So I don't know if there's even really much coming on in the news on that, but we're going to definitely talk about that as well. Uh, and and then what other technology would you like to talk about before we call it a day?
Well, I think we can talk about the wavwatch till we hit the hour mark.
We got the wavwatch. We talked about the terahertz wands. We've got we do have the Tesla paddles, the Tesla coils. If we want to talk about some more Tesla technology, they're right in front of you here on the bed. These are phenomenal. They were out of stock for a while because they were being made in Russia, and the company had to relocate. And I believe now they're in Lithuania or somewhere. But this is definitely one of our most popular, also very powerful technology. And Riley's doing a very graceful job holding these. So these paddles, you can just put them right on your body. They send electrical energy into the body. I actually have the electric box, which I'm going to show people. But these go directly on the body. They're different patterns. This is Flower of Life. The green one is Labyrinth, and the white one is a Whirlpool. But Tesla figured out that electrical energy in the body was just so good for so many things. And we sell these Tesla coils, these I call them the Tesla paddles. One of the newest things that I've gotten is the we call it the electric box. And it's just all it is just a box that runs electrical current through your body, and you hold on to each one of these copper nodes, and this thing runs a lot of juice through you. I'm
Yes,
telling
it
you, it's like
does. Oh my word.
yeah. So I put a piece of Kleenex on each side, but there was a gentleman, um,
Kyle.
Beck,
Yeah.
Bob Beck,
Oh,
back in the 50s and 60s, who discovered also, just like Tesla did, that running electrical energy through the body was very, very good. Now, when this thing runs through you, and I'm just quoting it from the manufacturer, and we'll do a lot more research and we'll show you a lot more research. It's very good for killing pathogens. It's reported to be very good for killing pathogens, bacteria, viruses. There's people that have used this thing for 10 minutes and gotten rid of strep throat. It's very good for cleansing the blood. This box right here, this device, which is very basic, $150, man. I'm like, God, I'll take like 10 of those things. Um, Now, if anybody's on the channel and you know Angie, Food Goddess 50, Angie and me are very close friends. And she said, Sean, you've got to get this box. Angie swears by it. She's about a month and a half um, in front of me when it comes to using this technology. She swears by it. So when Angie got a hold of me and Angie, Food Goddess 50, gave it a good review, I said, all right, I'm absolutely going to get one. And now I'm on day 2 or 3, and I've been kind of lagging with like I had the flu last month. It's not the flu. It's almost like it's probably almost better to call it the plague. Um, because it feels like that. I'm just running at like 80%. It's like, God, man, I got to shake this. And I know, that I'm feeling better. It's not enough to really stop me from working or anything like that. But it's just not running at 100%. And I've been using this for about 3 days. I'm feeling much better. I can only do it for like 5 minutes, and I got to put a piece of tissue paper on top of the copper. Now, this dial is a turn off switch. You can turn on and off. You can adjust the amount of electrical energy going through the body. But there was a guy named Bob Beck who did a ton of research on this stuff. And there's a lot of Bob Beck technology out there. This is basically a very simplified, basic version of it. Turn it on, put one thumb on each thing, and then just
Hold on.
hang tight and try to it's almost like riding a Bronco. It's like
Yeah, seriously. Like,
but it's really good for you, right? And so,
worth it.
so I think,
It's awesome.
the goal, and I love it because it's inexpensive. I mean, like it's $150. And even if you put it on a payment plan and you checked out, it'd be like $40 a month for something that really has a lot of benefit. And you can look up Bob Beck. We'll do more research and go in to talk more about it. I also have a very good friend of mine called, his name is Francis. I call him the superhuman. He's 75, I believe, and incredible strength, very spiritual person,
Mm.
kind of a role model in a way because he lives in the world that everything that he wants to manifest is manifested. He runs at a very high frequency. He assumes that everything he wants is already fulfilled. All the things that we talk about, he lives. It's actually living living the information and not talking about it or reciting it or thinking that there's still something more to learn. When you understand that you are a spiritual entity and you're part and parcel of God, and you have a lot of the same ability to manifest reality, then you start living with and becoming that manifested thing you want. And as you do that, the external things around you start changing. The minute that you're saying, I'm going to manifest this, and you're
Mm.
waiting for third dimensional reality to adjust, you're trying too hard. You already live as if you are that. And then the third dimensional reality adjusts around you. But it starts with the core part of you inside. And that comes to everything. That comes to living healthier. That comes to
Mm.
it comes to healing yourself,
Yeah.
but by mentally focusing that the process has already occurred, and living as if it's already done. um Restless legs thought, anyone? So restless leg, I know I've gotten a lot of information on that. I don't remember exactly what it all was, but I do remember that restless leg had something to do, obviously, with the nerves. I'd have to go back in and do some research on that because, um,
Feel free to send us an email if you have any questions that you want answered privately
yeah,
or
Manadoti.
publicly. Feel
Um,
free to send us an email.
no, there is a person that I'm going to recommend. Riley, if you could type this into the chat. His name is Anthony William. I don't know if anybody knows Anthony William, or who this guy is. He goes by the name the Medical Medium. And I mean, this guy is brilliant. I love him because he basically is connected to a spirit guide, and this spirit guide, type in medical medium and medicalmedium.com. And anytime you need to know anything about anything, whether it's um, perfect, you can go on that website. So, Manadote, that's where I would go immediately to learn about restless leg. He'll talk about it, and then he'll go into diet and different things that you can eat lot of herbal, a lot of natural things that are really, really good for, um, I learned a lot from this guy. I mean, like I was saying earlier, I'm not that smart, but I know
Yes, you
but I
are.
get a lot of information from a
You
lot of,
are that smart. Don't let him fool you. He is 110% smarter than he even thinks he is.
but I tap into a lot of smart people. And then Riley thinks I'm very important, and I will totally gloat in my smartness. Yes, I am smart.
Yes, you're a genius.
I'm a
Yes.
legend in my own mind, as I like to tell people. Um, Medical medium, I mean, if you want to learn a lot about Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, ALS, you want to get into some deep subjects. This guy really goes into them, and he does a phenomenal job explaining it. You know, me and Riley sell medical equipment. I'm going to finish up on this, and then we'll end
Mhm.
this call for the day. Um, Nikhil Gupta, how sweet. Thank you very much. Anybody
Yeah.
that's anybody that's out there that is into Vedic history, Vedic knowledge. I've spent a lot of time studying Vedic knowledge, Vedic stuff. You've seen my videos, I wear these beads. These are holy beads from India. They're Tulsi beads.
Tulsi beads.
Vedic history and Vedic knowledge is, I'm from
Oh,
India.
awesome.
Yeah. So, I love that. We need more following from India. Um, but I'm very connected with Vedic stuff, with Hinduism, very, very, very deeply connected to that. I know a lot
Mhm.
about it. I lived right next door to a Hindu temple for 25 years. Um, so I know a lot about that, but I like Vedic knowledge and Vedic history because it's very good with knowledge for health and wellness. If you get into Ayurvedic stuff, very much like the ancient or the Asians or the Chinese with holistic medicine, um, thousands and thousands of years, like those charts.
Tulsi basil?
Wow,
I
yeah.
didn't even
Yeah,
wow.
that's right, Ed. I'm originally from San Diego. I lived in Pacific Beach. There was a temple there in Pacific Beach. And
Oh,
Vivian,
she wants you to come
I would
to
love to come to
India.
India. I would love to come to India. So when I was in India, I flew into Calcutta and then I went to Orissa and I basically spent a lot of time in an area called Puri, Jagannath Puri, which I'm very familiar with the Rath Yatra. And we spent time there with a sadhu, a yogi. His name was Om Dadadiya Baba. He was a Nrsingadev Baba and he lived in a little ashram that was right outside of Orissa. He was the head pujari for the Jagannath Puri temple there, and the head pujari actually for the Rath Yatra festival. And it was a very mystical experience meeting him because in India they call yogis. Um, well, they can be called Siddha Mahatmas, which means that they've mastered a lot of they've mastered everything that needs to be mastered with um, I guess we would call them mystical powers, lighter than light. It can become invisible, astral projection, all these different things, right? But technically, all the cities, as we would call them, mean nothing without love, right? And so you learn a lot because in India, learning mystic powers is part of their culture. It's not even regard a big deal. In the United States, it's like, um, but what you find when you're around a lot of very powerful spiritual people, even when you get into a lot of Vedic things and a lot of different uh, um, what do we call them? Well, they're different sects, I guess, but there's another word for it, sampradayas. When you're in these different things, you'll find that even the greatest mystics can be taken down by ego. And what happens is that they get all these followers, they develop these mystical powers, and people keep telling them how great they are, and they buy into it. And we all understand when you're very deeply mystical that being humble is the number one mystical quality. And being humble and understanding that we're all drops of God and that I might be in a different position right now in my development phase of understanding that than somebody else is. But God sees everybody equally, even the people we dislike. And so we're all drops of God. We're all evolving at a different time, place, circumstance. But the minute that you start thinking you're special or better than somebody else, you're in deep doo doo. And that's what takes yogis down. That's what takes the most, and then they got to recycle all the way through it. So somebody who's humble, who's loving, who's dedicated to service to others and not service to self, that's when you're really meeting somebody that's very special, somebody that's very humble. And the more humble they become, the more it brings you into their, like, special space
Mhm.
of what it's really like to be godlike, right? And what it's really like to be, um, spiritual. I mean, that's ultimately because the most powerful frequency of all the stuff we ever talk about, the most powerful frequency is the love frequency, 432. And the love frequency, you can manifest and do so much with that. And when you share that loving frequency with people, you get it back. But when you can see through all the issues and all the problems and all the things that drive you crazy, even with the people you dislike, even with the people that do harm, even with the people you don't agree with, if you can give them love and compassion, wow, you have mystical powers, especially in this day and age, right? So, I mean, if you followed my videos, if you watch me, you always know that we start off with technology, but I always turn it back to our own inner powers, our own inner strength, our own divine nature of what we've got to create that loving atmosphere and to become those loving, kind people that we read about in all the books. And so Jesus, like, that's right. Like Jesus, would always
That's
have,
literally what I was thinking.
yeah,
He would leave.
yeah. And
Whenever crowds would follow him, he would dip off into a quiet space where he wouldn't tell anyone, he would just leave.
But think about that. Think about that story. Here is this wonderful person that only wants to do good and teach and heal and do all these things. And what happens? He gets put on a cross, and that whole thing happens. But what does he do? I'm forgiving all these people, right? So if Jesus can forgive at that time when he's hanging on a cross, just being tortured, the people doing that, then who are we not to be able to forgive those in our
Agreed.
lives who maybe pulled in front of us, or, friend or a loved one or whatever it is, people, it's just, it's easy to talk about it. Sometimes it's a little harder to live that, but it comes to what I said earlier. You have to live the teaching. You can't keep repeating it like a parrot. There comes a point in time where you have to absorb it, become it, and live it, right? And so that is ultimately that's where we're going. Uh, Nikhil Gupta, isn't that funny that we started talking off about Tulsi beads, and now we're talking about all these different things. Carl Bennett, I'm just going to read some of what about the celestial chamber. So Ruben and Julia, so the celestial chamber, which we have over here in the other part of the room, is not really running on plasma energy, right? One thing about med beds and med bed technology, it's kind of like a car shell. The first thing, if you're a car fanatic, is like, what's under the hood? That's what I want to know. What's under the hood?
Mhm.
Um, Plasma energy is a very powerful force. Are the spheres still going, or the batteries dying on those? Those spheres behind me are running on plasma energy. That is real medbed type technology. The celestial pod has a lot of benefits to it, but terahertz, ozone, chromotherapy, gyrotherapy, it has like 9 technologies, and it's very beneficial and it does a lot of good. And I've got a lot of videos of people using it, getting out of it. They're like, "Wow, that's amazing." But medbed technology, when you're getting into plasma and you're getting into conscious, intelligent energy fields, that's when you're really getting into something that's really pretty cool and really like because medbed technology is extraterrestrial technology, and we have rediscovered a lot of it. There's a lot of it that's available right now. Um, but the plasma energy based technology is inscribed in hieroglyphics in Egypt, and it's dual tube technology, which basically was used by, I don't know if it was this the I don't know which group it was, the Anunnaki or the ones. There was a couple ancient builder races, we would call them. It's a deep story. I mean, if anybody's familiar with the Kuiper Belt, which is just a big, like, millions of asteroids spinning in a circle, that was actually a planet. That thing got blown up, and and then that sent people running all over the place. But extraterrestrial stuff is always all over the place to begin with. But we had the ancient builder races coming down here, and when they did, they um, they started, basically building the pyramids to stabilize the Earth's atmosphere, and that was the original reason that the pyramids were built, was to stabilize the Earth's atmosphere. And then in addition to that, create a free energy grid. And then in addition to that, it was healing underneath the Bosnian pyramid. All these pyramids were major healing centers.
That right there was incredible.
But what you'll find, yeah, isn't that great? Um, but what you'll find is that there's dual tube energy systems inscribed in hieroglyphics, that are that, and what they were doing with the dual tube energy systems, they're regenerating themselves, because when they came into the Earth's atmosphere, they were aging much faster than they should have been. It wasn't conducive to the atmosphere they had come from. And so dual tube energy systems were used a lot for rejuvenation. And that's why you see them inscribed in hieroglyphics from thousands of years ago. A lot of stuff that is ancient stuff. We can get in that another call. But let's do this. Let's go to any other calls here, any other questions, and then we can shut this down. So Ruben and Julia, none of that is in San Diego right now. If you need something specific for, like, an issue that you're dealing with health wise, email us at usamedbed@gmail, because there are
We'll find you a
centers.
place to go.
There's the EE systems, which I think are very beneficial. There's scalar energy systems. There are some dual tube plasma systems that are available in Southern California. There's a Dr. Elaine, um,
Oh, yeah.
who's out of LA. She's in Brentwood. Um, and she's got a really great technology place up there. So we can direct people, to places. You don't have to buy technology. There's a lot of technology that's available for you to use, and these different places have some of it. Some of it I greatly respect, and some of it I don't think as highly of, but I don't refer that stuff out. And it's not that it doesn't have value. I just think there's other things that are more valuable. So, Riley, is there anything you'd like to say to our fantastic followers and our
Well,
friends?
I am so excited to be here, and I can't wait to see you guys back on Monday at noon. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to us being able to expand on specific products and come up with a schedule and just get it going.
That's
I'm
it.
so excited.
Very exciting.
And thank you to everyone who is here and participated. That's incredible. Please email, ask questions, go to our website, do your research, and come back to us, and we'll answer any questions that you may have that we might know the answer to.
We are ramping up for a fantastic 2025. We want everybody to live their
Yeah.
healthiest, happiest
Yes,
lives.
we do. That's our motto.
And I just want to say, Ann Stockberry, thank you. Mr. Ed Strine, sir, thank you.
Happy birthday, Ed.
Nikhil Gupta, you tracted your messages, but you don't have to. I mean, when you're around me and we're talking anything from that going on. But all you people today that jumped on our call that said hello, um, and I'm just going to go back in. We have Vivian, who shared a lot of good information, a lot of good feedback, um, and all the other people, Ann Stockberry, Beth Stevens, Danielle, Grace, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We'll look forward to talking to you again really soon. Best wishes. Have a great weekend. And from Riley and myself,
Bye,
goodbye from our
guys.
MedBed Center here in Richmond, Virginia.